Hey, thanks for joining me today. It is April 24th. Where's the year going? I don't know. But I'm so glad you're here today. We got a number of stories to get to today, and I wanted to talk about an idea because today is Big Idea Wednesday. So this is an idea. I don't know if it's that big, but we'll roll with it anyway. So I'll get to that in just a second. My name, Tom Coffey. This is a Coffey Nuance show. And we're streaming live, actually. We're live right now on YouTube, and we are live on Rumble, believe it or not. Believe it or not. At rumble.com/coffeynuance/live. Just bookmark it. It's the easiest way to find the show. And wonder if I made this show public or not. Don't know. Is it private? Could be. Nope. And just like that, you've arrived. Okay, Lucid is in the YouTube chat, so lets me know that we are actually live. That's great. Anyway, nice to see you. Nice to see you. And let's get to the monologue. Let's get to Big Idea of the day. Big Idea Wednesday. Yeah, so today I want to talk about something that's infecting workplaces. If you're at one of those places, it's called action addiction. And it's not just for thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies anymore. No. Apparently, even your cubicle neighbor is hooked on that sweet, sweet dopamine drip. You know the feeling, right? You sit down at your desk, ready to conquer the world, and suddenly you're knee-deep in non-urgent emails, and rearranging paper clips, and constantly refreshing your feed. Yeah, it's like you're trapped in a hamster wheel of productivity, except the wheel is detached and spinning all by itself. Here's the kicker. Turns out this addiction isn't just about being busy. It's about being busy with the wrong things. It's like going to a buffet and filling up on croutons instead of prime rib. Sure, they're crunchy and satisfying, but they won't exactly fuel your success. So how do we break free of this cycle of mindless busyness? Well, according to the experts, and I say always very leery of the experts, but according to the experts of this article I read, they spend their day deciphering the mysteries of the human psyche. It's all about mindfulness. How many times have we heard that in the last number of years? Yeah, that's right. We're talking about channeling your inner Zen master right there in your cubicle. I know what you're thinking, but Tom, I don't have time to meditate. I've got deadlines to meet, bosses to impress. Well, fear not, my stressed out friends. Because mindfulness is as easy as just taking a breath. Literally, just stop, take a deep breath, and remember what the hell you're supposed to be doing in the first place. And hey, if that doesn't work, there's something that they call the 3-minute stare. Believe this or not. That's right, folks. You just sit there and do absolutely nothing for 3 minutes. It's like a vacation for your brain, minus the sandy beaches and overpriced cocktails. So next time you find yourself knee-deep in busy work, remember, you're not just a hamster on a wheel. No. You're a human being with the power to choose where you focus your energy. And with a little mindfulness and a lot of deep breaths, you might break free from the shackles of action addiction, reclaim your sanity. So here's to getting things done, staying away from those damn croutons. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffey Nuance Show, the least watched, censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. see if we'll get the flame up. See if we can get the flame to so that you can actually see it. Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there. Anyway, so we're talking about this article about this concept of action addiction, and the idea is that it can hinder. Oh, there we go. That's a flame. It can hinder productivity in the workplace. And instead of focusing on important tasks, often people will just succumb to the impulse of tackling small things, less significant tasks that provide immediate gratification. So it's like you're always just trying to be busy. And when you're trying to be busy, you're trying to do something here, do something here, do something here. And then at the end of the day, you look around, you don't feel like you got anything done. And they talk about having an untrained mind constantly seeking dopamine release for completing tasks. And this leads to just a cycle of inefficiency and frustration. And the solution they propose is to be mindful, right? Because that's what we hear about all the time now. Taking deep breaths. And also just looking at what's the actual important thing that I'm supposed to be doing today. And maybe working on that instead of trying to be busy. So overcoming action addiction can lead to being more focused and productive, ultimately saving time and reducing frustration. Anyway, I thought it was an interesting idea. I find myself doing that when I have a big task to do. I will often just do lots of little other things, and somehow it satisfies me. I find it satisfying just to do little things. And then in the end, I look and I didn't do the important thing that I was supposed to do. So that's just the concept. Action addiction. I don't know. I probably could have flushed that out better, but what are you going to do when your views are in the single digits? You know, it's kind of the way it is. Anyway, we got a number of stories to get to today, including this first one. Here's the headline. Biden signs a bill that could ban TikTok after the 2024 election. Let's talk about that. So President Biden signed a national security package with a provision potentially banning TikTok, but not before the 2024 election. This gives TikTok's parent company time to sell it or face U.S. prohibition. Democrats push for this extended timeline to facilitate a sale. There's mixed opinions on TikTok's fate, with some seeing it as a national security threat, which it is, and others advocating for free speech rights, which is also true. This is one of those times when two things can be true at the same time. Something can be a national security threat, and it can impede freedom of speech. Wow, two things at once. So, but this is part of the, the bigger foreign aid bill that was signed, and I honestly don't understand. Well, I understand it, but I just don't get it. Another, 60 billion to Ukraine, something in the teens to, right, 20 billion, 28 billion, something like that to Israel, a couple billion to East Asia, Taiwan or whatever. Don't even remember where, but wow, we $100 billion for all these other countries. And I look around, and I'm not saying the money should be spent locally, but I guess they can't get the kickbacks if they spend the money locally, right? That's what it looks like to me. But this TikTok ban was part of that deal, and I don't think it's going to happen. They put this in as, I don't know, to get some more Republicans on board with signing the bill. It's not going to happen. TikTok there's way too much money in TikTok for the government to ban it. Way too many people are making money off of it. And anytime that you threaten the money, that's when serious things happen. So while they claim that, hey, we're going to ban it next year, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. And I am very disappointed in anyone that supported all of this foreign aid. For me, it's an absolute disaster. Ukraine's a disaster. Throwing good money after bad is the only result is going to be more dead people, more money for military contractors, more kickbacks for politicians, and a lot more dead Ukrainians and dead Russians. It's really sad. And anybody that talks about the environment, you know, like you're pro-environment. Oh, it was Earth Day. Oh, we care about the environment. You know, don't have a plastic straw, and then you turn around and you support more war. There's nothing worse for the environment than war. Bombs, yeah, they're not good. They're not good for the environment. And the fact that Trump came around and he's proud of supporting Mike Johnson on this, because they made it some kind of a loan that you don't have to pay back or something. Sounds like a scam to me. And often we ought to trust that instinct. If something sounds like a scam, it's probably a scam. So very disappointed that Trump is backing more military spending, billions of dollars being shipped out of this country. Like, I can't support anyone that's doing this. Now, I did look, and in the House, 100% of the Democrats voted for this as well. Can't support that either. I can't support, for me, I can't support anyone that is supporting this kind of crap. But anyway, let's get on to some more positive stories, shall we? And we're talking about Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark, a rising star in women's basketball, is set to sign a groundbreaking sponsorship deal with Nike, worth $28 million over 8 years. The deal includes the possibility of bonuses and a signature shoe. Clark, known for her exceptional talent, has already collaborated with several brands, including Gatorade and State Farm. Now, despite her anticipated endorsement income far exceeding her WNBA salary, Clark remains grounded, expressing gratitude for the support she's received throughout her career. This news follows discussions about gender pay disparity in sports, with notable figures advocating for fair compensation for female athletes. Well, what fair compensation is, the way that markets work is that if companies think that they can make a bunch of money with you as a sponsor, then they will pay you what they need to pay you to get you on board. This has really not a whole lot to do with male and female, in my opinion. If they could make more money with more female sponsorships, they certainly would. You know, when you look at other things that women get, you know, like you could look at, why do women models make so much more than male models? Oh, right. Like, well, that's the market. That's just the way things go. Now, there's a lot of people. It's very interesting. No one's really happy with this $28 million deal, right? I saw many people saying, that's not enough, right? She should be getting way more. She should be getting 80 million or 100 million or something like that. Okay, maybe. And then there's other people that are saying, well, how come this white girl gets this big shoe deal, and all these other black women athletes, they don't have a shoe deal. And again, I don't think that necessarily it has to do with race. I think it has to do with how much money can you make off of someone. And I don't want to disparage any of the other athletes, but one of the things that's unique about Caitlin Clark is she's kind of pretty, right? She's like 6 foot tall, but she's a pretty lady. And many other WNBA stars, and then there are some pretty ones, I guess, right? But a lot of the big stars that are leading the league, they're not. And it's unfortunate, right? You can't have it all, right? You can't be beautiful and talented and all these things at once. It's a very difficult thing, but that's why Hollywood stars that are beautiful make more money than Hollywood stars that are ugly for the most part. But there are WNBA athletes, and I dare say, if you were to see them and you didn't know who they were, you might not be sure if they were men or women, right? I mean, they're very, many are very masculine looking, and that's not something that the market, that's not a selling point, people don't want to buy shoes from with signature shoes of from someone ugly. Sorry, I mean that's just how it is. Who knows? I might actually have a couple dozen people watching me live if I were better looking. Who knows? I don't know, but I'm not complaining about that. That's just how things are. Anyway, so congratulations to Caitlin getting that big shoe deal, and much success to her. And here's some positive news coming out of New York. What positive out of New York? Say it isn't so. So New York lawmakers passed a new law aimed at protecting property owners from squatters. This was spurred by a high-profile case in Queens. The law, part of the state budget agreement, excludes squatters from tenant protections and makes it easier for police to intervene in such cases. The case of Brian Rodriguez, who allegedly commandeered a home and summoned police when the owner tried to change the locks, prompted lawmakers to act. The law aims to prevent situations where squatters can claim tenant rights, providing relief to homeowners facing such challenges. This is kind of a scary thing when we've seen all of this squatters' rights stuff. And I gotta say, I don't really understand the point of view of being pro-squatter, right? If it's not your property and you're not paying for it and you're not paying rent on it and it's somebody else's place, I don't understand why anyone would be in favor of that. And I know you can come up with something like, oh, a bunch of rich people, they buy these houses and they sit empty, and we've got homeless people and they should just be able to take over those houses. Or there's an apartment building that's empty and they're not renting it out, and so the squatters are... I don't think that happens. And I would still be opposed to it. If you want to buy a property and have it sit vacant, you should be allowed to do whatever you want to with the property that you own. That's my take. I guess I believe in property rights more than I believe in, I don't know, squatters' rights. I really don't understand the squatter argument. Anytime I've heard anyone express anything pro-squatter, they just sound insane to me. So I'm still trying to learn the other side of this argument, because it just seems insane. Seems insane. But I really hope, as I live here in Portland, I hope that we have some kind of protection and we don't have these, this all this squatter stuff. I would hate to go away for a month and come back and find people living in my house and then thinking that the local politicians, the local law, would favor the people trespassing over me, And anyway, I'm not even sure what the laws are here. I'm afraid to look, actually, living in Portland. I'm afraid to look. But I guess that is some positive news that they were able to get this passed in, blue New York. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I've never understood the squatter thing. But we need a little good news, so let's get to some good news before I'm out of here. So we're talking about cheaper Teslas to come. Tesla's shares surged about 10% following the announcement of plans to introduce more affordable models in early 2025, alleviating concerns about slow growth. Now, despite recent challenges such as layoffs, executive departures, and lower than expected quarterly results, investors responded positively to the news. The strategy may also bolster support for CEO Elon Musk's compensation package, which he's still trying to get. Analysts speculate that the more affordable models may be variations on existing ones with software and hardware enhancements rather than an entirely new design. So this is, and why I brought this up is I've been thinking a lot about cars. I just, my car died and I just replaced it, but I replaced it with something used and old. And the reason that I did is I feel like we're really close to having cars, and I know that Tesla has some now, but we're really close to having an affordable car that would have a service that you don't need to drive, that it will drive for you. That's what I'm looking forward to. Just being able to sit there and let it deal with traffic and merging and all of that, rather than me. When I'm driving around town, often I get kind of stressed out, when people cut you off and things like that. But, if I could let AI, if I could let the autonomous driver do it for me, that's what I'm looking forward to. And I feel like we're almost there. And so I didn't want to, it kind of seems silly to go out and get like a really expensive new car now, when probably within the next couple of years there'll be something much cheaper and that would be able to drive itself. So I feel like I got a little stopgap car, if you will. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the next generation of cars. And it sounds to me like if Tesla is going to come out with some cheaper, more affordable cars, that's what I'm looking forward to. So anyway, and I think that would be good for a lot of people, especially I think for maybe older people. Maybe they're not as good at driving anymore, and if I think a lot of people that get into wrecks are elderly people, and if all elderly people could get these kind of self-driving cars, it would just make things safer all around for everyone. So I think that's good news. Anyway, that's pretty much all I prepared today. Stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments, and I'll be back on Wednesday. No, today's Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. If you like the show, hit the like button. Let's see if we can get it into the double digits today. Yeah, seriously. And I'll see you on the other side for the after show. Peace. So, I'm not seeing anything on Rumble. And just make sure we actually streamed over there. But I think we probably did. Let's see. No. But maybe because we never went live on Rumble. Huh. Don't know. That's interesting. Just seeing right now. Well, interesting. So apparently we actually didn't go live on Rumble. It's well, that probably explains why there's no comments. Oh man, not sure what happened there. Not sure what happened there. I was having trouble logging into Rumble today. I kept trying to set the you know, the parameters up, set up the live stream, and I kept getting an error. But I thought it worked, but apparently not. Apparently not. Oh well. We'll get that next time. Anyway, so Lucid's checking in, and just like that, you've arrived. Yeah, peace, flame, coffee, love it. Apothecary John, nice to see you. Hey Tom, hey John, hey Lucid. Hey, what's up, Erie Fairy? Listening while you're working. That's nice. Yeah, listening on an earbud. That's good. One thing that I like that you may check out, and I'll talk about this some other day, but I have some of these bone conducting headphones. And what they are is they go over your ear, and then they just kind of go right here against where your jawbone is, little things. And you can hear through the vibrations, and it sounds like magic. But your ears are still open to the world, and often, so you can listen, but you also hear everything around you. And I really like them. But I think maybe for Friday I'll demonstrate how they work. But I think they're great, and I think that might work in an office too. So you could listen to something, and then mine has a little button on the side that I can just press, and I can just pause a podcast or whatever I'm listening to. But it's pretty cool technology. If you haven't tried them yet, it's a pretty cool. If TikTok would give a piece of the pie, they'd look the other way. Have you ever watched a WNBA game? It's awful. Well, you know, to each their own, I guess. It's not really my cup of tea. It's not a very popular sport, but you know, whatever. That's why there's, you know, 100 channels, right? You know, you don't have to watch it if you don't like it. Let's see. I'm getting a 2024 Trail Boss in August to haul stuff to the something property. I can't see, there's a heart in the way there. A Trail Boss. I don't even know what a Trail Boss is. What is it? What is a Trail Boss? Oh. Trail Boss. Okay. So that's a I guess a Chevy Silverado. Has a model called a Trail Boss. That looks pretty boss. That does look. That looks pretty tough, pretty buff. That's a nice looking truck. So, very cool. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, you got to haul stuff. You got to have some way to haul stuff, and so that's cool. Yeah, Chevy truck. Yeah, Trail Boss. I never heard anything called a Trail Boss before, but as soon as I did, it came up Chevy Silverado. So I guess that's a nickname or a model of it or something like that. But yeah, that's a nice looking truck. I like that. Anyway, I thought the idea today of the action addiction, just being addicted to little things, is an interesting concept. And I think that it's probably also with kind of, this whole idea of we have shorter attention spans and whatnot. With a shorter attention span, you just keep moving from task to task to task, as opposed to just staying focused on one thing. So I just thought it was an interesting idea. I don't know how real it is. And again, anything that experts talk about, take it with a grain of salt. But I thought that was an interesting concept today. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I'll be back on Friday, hopefully with an awesome show, right? Why not? Why not? But anyway, hope you all have a beautiful day. I will see you next time. Peace.